we're going to pivot now to some breaking news. This morning, Sheff G, the man widely considered to be the leader of Brooklyn's drill rap music scene, is in handcuffs along with more than 30 other alleged gang members.
Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow were just charged in the gang shooting, but news coming out shows they got set up. Let's get into it. So, Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow in some serious trouble. They're accused of conspiring to take out members of a rival gang. Sheff G, who's been locked up for a while now, got hit with 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder, while Sleepy Hallow got charged with conspiracy charges.
The 2 rappers were among 32 alleged gang members charged today in a 140-count indictment. The DA saying the gang is linked to 12 shootings and 1 murder, which was caught on camera.
These 2 rappers are part of a larger crew of 32 gang members who got caught up in this case. According to reports, their charges involve more than 12 violent incidents with 13 victims. Sadly, 1 person lost their life.
About half the shootings were bystanders hit by stray bullets.
And 3 innocent bystanders got hit by stray bullets. It's all messed up. But here's the crazy thing in all this. Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow may seem like just regular rappers, but the cops believe that they are way bigger and richer than they let on. The deputy chief of the NYPD, Jason Savino, spilled the beans. Sleepy Hollow's got over 124 million views on one of his YouTube songs alone, and Sheff G's got over 42 million views. That's a whole lot of eyes on them.
You know, it's a shame that they're using this platform, you know, the music platform, to actually, you know, carry out, you know, a negative message. When I say negative message, you know, I'm not talking about the music, it's what they're actually doing. You know, as a result, you know, they're actually committing crimes and actually...
And get this, they're making bank too. The district attorney believes that Sheff G is using some of the money he's making from his music to fund more gang activities. He's basically supporting his crew to go out and do more violent crimes.
Police say they are members of the Crips.
That ain't cool, man. Word on the street is that Sheff G's gang, the Crips gang, has been expanding like crazy. They're causing havoc not just in Brooklyn, but also in Manhattan and even in parts of New Jersey. These guys are serious about their business. But wait, there's more. The prosecutors believe that Sheff G's been funding another gang called the 8 Tray Crips, based out in Flatbush, along with their buddies from the 9 Ways gang. These 2 crews teamed up and went to war against their enemies. And guess what? Sheff G and Sleepy Hollow's music money was supposedly used to back up this alliance while they kept doing crimes. Damn, that's messed up, man. To cover their tracks, Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow supposedly talked in some street codes. They used Pigland to communicate in this special way to show their gang loyalty and try to hide their discussions about violence, guns, and gang stuff. Sneaky, isn't it? So that's the deal, my dude. Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow are caught up in some serious gang drama. They're accused of doing some messed up stuff and using their rap fame and fortune to fuel it all. It's wild. While describing what their Pigland would sound like, the authorities revealed that the first letters or 2 of a word is removed from its beginning and moved to the end of the word, followed by the phrase Ogata or Agata or A. For example, shot becomes Acha or Achaka, and chop meaning firearm means Apcha or Apchaka.
For whatever reason. I don't know what it is. That's between
Hey dagado nagados gagado magado bragada. Al yagado nagado.
But I can tell you though, like when I look at like movements that have happened in hip.
Prosecutors say those gang members shot at rivals in broad daylight and then bragged about it on social media. At the center of it all, 2 well-known rappers from Brooklyn.
Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow are well-known collaborators in the New York drill scene, and the 2 are credited to be the pioneers of the booming Brooklyn drill rap scene, which has come to be loved by rappers and rap fans around the world. Under their performing names, Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow have gathered hundreds of thousands of followers on social media, with their music garnering hundreds of millions of streams on Spotify and YouTube. Sheff G rose to fame in 2017, so it wouldn't be a surprise that, as of 2019, he had gathered enough money to pump into the gang's growth. The crimes for which they've been charged span from March of 2019 to the present day, according to the 140-count indictment filed by the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office. The authorities began their investigation after a shooting incident in October of 2020, and in no time, they had 12 shooting incidents on their desk, with 13 victims, 1 lost life, and over 19 firearms seized. The October 2020 incident, however, led the authorities to put a pin on Sheff G, as he treated members of the gang to a Manhattan steakhouse to celebrate the drive-by shooting in which 1 alleged rival gang member was taken out and 5 other alleged gang members were injured. It was gathered that Sheff G took the hitmen who carried out the hit on that fateful day to a lavish steak dinner where they celebrated their score against their rivals. Sheff G was giving rewards to his gang members who did the hit for him. He would give them money or buy them fancy diamond jewelry. He even promised to put them in his music videos or get them record deals. He was like their big boss, hooking them up with doing dirty work. But Sheff G got caught up in more than one incident. In April 2021, he helped coordinate a hit where innocent people got shot. He acted as the getaway driver in a drive-by shooting. That's messed up. After that, the law was on his trail. At the time they filed the conspiracy charges, Sheff G was already serving time for another gun charge in Rikers Island prison. Back in January 2021, the cops pulled him over for speeding and making illegal U-turns. And guess what? They found a gun in his car. He had to plead guilty and got sentenced to 2 years in prison. He was supposed to be out on June 15th of 2023, but with these new charges, he might be locked up even longer. It's not looking good for Sheff G. Subscribe quickly if you're enjoying this video. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's talk about Sleepy Hallow. He got busted in 2022 for having weapons, but you know what? He only did 8 months in jail. That's nothing compared to Sheff G. He got released on February 23rd of 2023. Lucky him, right? Before all this trouble went down, Sleepy Hallow was at a concert where he received a phone call from Sheff G. Sleepy Hallow held up his phone to a large crowd as their fans continued to chant, "Free Sheff." Sheff G responded to the fans through the call. He said, "I love y'all. I'm coming home soon."
I need everybody to be quiet in here for a second. Say something, Vert. Be quiet for a second. Let Sheff talk for a second. Talk to him, Sheff.
Will Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow be coming home anytime soon? With the crimes levied against them, the Brooklyn rappers just may be locked up for a while. To start with, they've been charged with the October 2020 incident, which led to 6 people being shot. According to reports, the authorities believe that the 2020 incident was a case of gang retaliation, as on that same night of the hit, the detectives investigated another gang violence case that includes 2 other slayings within these same areas. The incident happened near Hawthorne Street and North Strand Avenue and Prospect Lefferts Gardens, and the hitman took the life of a 23-year-old man struck in the chest and wounded 5 other people at about 10:15 p.m. on October 22, 2020. Surveillance videos obtained by the authorities showed a white sedan driving back onto the sidewalk moments before the violence erupted. The video showed 2 hitmen as they stuck out their guns from the front and back driver's side windows while a third person popped out of the sunroof. Bullets went flying everywhere. The authorities knew it was a gang hit because the dude who got killed was connected to the Folk Nation gang. And get this, 3 of the guys who got shot dead were also linked to that same gang. The hitmen from the BMW got away clean. But that's not all. Just an hour before that, some other guy got shot multiple times in front of an apartment building. It happened on October 22nd, right before the big hit. They rushed him to the hospital, but he couldn't make it. That's when Sheff G decided to get revenge on the gang he thought was responsible for taking out his homie. And there's more to this conspiracy. In April 2021, a rival gang rolled up to Sheff G's crib and started shooting at him and his crew who were chilling in his mansion in Short Hills. The very next day, Sheff G and his gang went on the attack. They fired shots at a member of the 8 Trade gang who they believe had snitched and gave the address of Sheff G's New Jersey mansion to their enemies. The gangsters acting under Sheff G's command opened fire on a Flatbush sidewalk, striking 2 bystanders, a 53-year-old man and a 43-year-old woman, as they missed their target. However, a few months later in June of 2021, a gang member who betrayed Sheff G was kidnapped by 10 men who took him to a cemetery to beat him up until the police were called. The authorities believe that these gang members carried out all these acts for Sheff G because of what they stood to gain from him: money, connection, and many more. Speaking on the conspiracy, Jason Savino, head of the police department's gun violence suppression division, said, "With such a large following, individuals are looking to impress them. They were idolized by so many and feared by so many more." According to reports, investigators are still looking for 7 other people said to be connected with the conspiracy as the DA searches for the motive for the shootings. While the authorities are still in search of motives behind the shooting, it won't be far-fetched to assume that it was all gang-related. Sheff G has always been open about his connections with crime and street life. In several interviews, Sheff G has shared his experiences growing up around street violence, which left him and many of his friends in his neighborhood scared and paranoid, and with PTSD, he said in an interview back in 2019. The rapper has also been candid about his affiliation with Brooklyn gangs, but rejected the negative connotations that have been attached to gangs, such as violence and criminal activity. To Sheff G, the gang lifestyle was more like a brotherhood than a criminal organization. Speaking on their relationship, Sheff G said, "If you're living on a block and you're coming outside, this is people that you want with you every day. You know each other's moms, you eat together, holidays celebrated. These are your brothers now. Now, y'all like family."